Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to explain the core ideas from the best-selling book, How to Control Your Anger Before It Controls You, by the renowned psychologist Albert Ellis. Many of us have experienced feeling down when unpleasant things happen. We become overly sensitive and fragile, and can easily fall into negativity that is hard to get out of. What this book tells us is that negative emotions are not directly caused by external events, but by the irrational thoughts within us. So to truly get rid of negativity, we need to use reason to counter our irrational thinking. The author Albert Ellis is recognized as one of the most influential psychologists of the 20th century. He founded cognitive behavioral therapy, which is now the most widely used psychotherapy method. In How to Control Your Anger, Ellis elaborated on his rational emotive therapy and provided a whole set of techniques to identify and resolve negative emotions. First, let's be clear about the harms of negative emotions and where they come from. Negative emotions include anger, depression, anxiety, anything that makes us feel bad. But Ellis points out they can be divided into healthy and unhealthy ones. Healthy negative emotions are short-lived and won't disturb our life too much. For example, you may feel down during a speech due to nervousness, but get over it quickly afterwards. Such emotions can even motivate us to improve ourselves and push us forward. Unhealthy negative emotions, on the other hand, tend to persist and lead to vicious cycles. For instance, you feel disappointed over poor work performance, so you start drinking to escape reality. After getting drunk, you fight with family, and get fired from work, then plunge into despair. If this goes on, even a small issue can spiral out of control. So where do unhealthy negative emotions come from? Ellis believes the root is people's irrational beliefs. The biggest trait of irrational beliefs is disconnecting from reality and using subjective musts and absolutes to view the world. For example, I must get approval from my boss or I'm a failure. Everyone should like me. If someone doesn't, then I'm worthless, etc. Driven by such irrational beliefs, we impose unrealistic expectations on ourselves and others. When these expectations are not met, we feel negative. Ellis points out irrational beliefs often exhibit the following. First, subjective thinking. Believing everything is one's own fault and everyone should like them, otherwise there is something wrong with oneself. Second, catastrophizing. Imagining the worst possible consequences, like, if I fail this speech, my career is over. Third, rulemaking. Blaming everything on others and making unrealistically high demands of them. Fourth, overgeneralizing. Thinking one failure means perpetual failure, and completely losing motivation when facing difficulties. So to solve unhealthy negative emotions, we must first recognize these irrational beliefs and refute their detrimental effects. This is the first key point of the book. Next, let's look at the 4-step method Ellis provides, which can help us use reason to defeat irrational beliefs and truly conquer negative emotions. Step 1. Admit irrational beliefs originate from oneself, not past experiences. Some people feel their negativity comes from childhood trauma like parents' mistakes. But Ellis points out that given the same environment, some turn out healthy while others unhealthy, because each person holds different irrational beliefs inside. So we must first admit these thoughts stem from ourselves, in order to make the decision to change them. Step 2. Ask questions to refute irrational beliefs and identify where they don't make sense. Ellis suggests using questioning to help break out of irrational thinking and adopt a more rational perspective. We can ask ourselves, does this belief follow logic? Is the goal achievable? Is there evidence supporting this idea? Are there counterexamples in life? If we seriously consider these questions, we'll find many absurd, unreasonable aspects of the irrational belief. We should then construct new, more realistic beliefs to replace them. Step 3. Use actions to validate new beliefs and accelerate change. Reasoning alone is not enough. Ellis recommends combining actions to solidify new beliefs. For example, you used to think colleagues would reject different opinions from you. Now you can try making light suggestions to see if they really dislike that. Positive feedback from actions will help integrate the new beliefs into your mind faster. Step 4. View setbacks properly and keep practicing until old beliefs are fully gone. Temporary setbacks are normal during the change process. Ellis tells us not to despair over them, but to accept the setbacks, re-examine the irrational beliefs that occur, and repeat the previous steps to resolve them. As long as we persist, the new beliefs will become conditioned reflexes that can completely defeat negative emotions. These 4 steps constitute the core concepts of rational emotive therapy. By mastering and applying them, we can stay calm and use rational thinking to analyze problems when negative emotions strike, instead of letting irrational ideas ruin our mood. Lastly, let me briefly summarize the key contents of this book. First, we clarified the harms of negative emotions, which may lead to vicious cycles. Next, we recognized unhealthy emotions stem from irrational beliefs inside us. Then Ellis taught us the 4-step method to refute irrational beliefs. Finally, he told us change takes time and setbacks are normal, but persistence will surely enable us to master our own emotions. I hope today's introduction can help everyone realize negativity is not destined, but can be diffused with reason. If you want to fully learn Ellis' rational emotive therapy, I highly recommend reading the original book, How to Control Your Anger Before It Controls You. It's an absolute must-read for self-improvement. Thank you for watching. See you next time.